నమస్తే గురుగారు.
ఆయుష్మాన్ భవ. ఏంటి విశేషాలు?
ఇది నెక్స్ట్ మార్చ్ లో రామాయణ కాదు, మార్చ్ లో వాస్తు శాస్త్రం అని ఇంకో స్టార్ట్ అవుతుంది ఐకేఎస్ లో. ఇంకా ఏప్రిల్లోనేమో రామాయణము జ్యోతిషము, అంటే రామాయణంలో జ్యోతిషం ఎట్లా ఉందనే దాని గురించి స్టార్ట్ అవుతాం. ఎవరు సివిబి సుబ్రహ్మణ్యం గారని నాకు తెలియదు, నేను చూస్తాను.
తెలుగు యూనివర్సిటీలో పనిచేసి రిటైర్ అయ్యాను.
అదే అది కూడా రాసింది, రిటైర్డ్ తెలుగు యూనివర్సిటీ ప్రొఫెసర్
తెలుసు. ఆయన తెలుగు యూనివర్సిటీలో జ్యోతిషంలో ప్రొఫెసర్ గా చేసి రిటైర్ అయ్యారు. సివివి సుబ్రహ్మణ్యం గారిని శ్రీరామచంద్రమూర్తిలో కానున్నాడు కదా మీమాంసకుడు. ఎవరు ఆయన పేరు? అంటే చిర్రావూరి.
అవునండి,
చిర్రావూరి సుబ్రహ్మణ్య శ్రీరామచంద్రమూర్తిలో కానున్నాడు కదా మీమాంసకుడు. ఆయనకి అన్నగారు అన్నమాట. అలాగే జ్యోతిషం రామాయణం బాగుంది. వాస్తు ఆయుష్మాన్, వాస్తు శాస్త్రం కూడా ఆయుష్మాన్. So how are you following Muralidharan, Murali Mohanji and Chandruji?
Murali Mohanji, you are muted.
Sir, I went through the recording again and the written notes also.
Regarding
that Vyakarana part of it, I am just fully I could absorb, but I am not introduced to that via Nyaya Shastra and all that now. So that seems a little bit out of my understanding now. Some Vyakarana Ashtadhyayi references and all I again went through those
try to pronounce Vyakarana.
Yeah, Vyakarana. Okay, sir. Okay.
In Tamil and Malayalam, the problem is there.
Okay, sir.
And that slowly you will fall in line. See,
yes, sir. I can understand.
In the Pramanas in Vedic Shastra, I will give you the list of Pramanas. And in Nyaya, because in Nyaya Darshanam, Mimamsa Darshanam, Vyakaranam, all the three are important. Then what generally people do, if they study Vyakaranam, they don't touch Nyaya or Mimamsa. How is it? So one should know all the Shastras.
Yes.
How they speak,
I will slowly get introduced to, I think.
Huh?
I am slowly able to grasp.
No, Chandriji.
Yeah, I'm also able to follow. So, if I have questions, can I email you also? Email?
Immediately, just let us start now. Om Namah Paranigathyaya Patanjalibhyo Shabda Vidya Sampradaya Kartabhyo Anshirubhyo Paramashibhyo Mahadhyo Manibhyo Gurubhyaha. Any questions from earlier lessons or anything you have? Chandru.
No, I just wanted to know if over email also we can contact you.
No, you can contact me through email, but now when I am there, if you have any questions, come on, you can ask, I shall just answer.
Okay, now I don't have, but just wanted to know.
Huh?
Now I don't have.
Now you don't have. No, anytime you have, we can give email, but it is better to have face-to-face discussion. And Lakshmi Kukunuri, we did not have he's actually both of you already gave your this thing, no? I mean, Parichaya. Yes, you said. So, shall we go ahead in the last class? Who will do this Chintana? What was discussed in last class?
Jati.
Go ahead.
First of all, we described that kArakam, the definition of kArakam, that is kareti iti.
Karoti
iti.
Iti karoti karakam. Kriyan nirvartayati, kriyan janayati. The one which generates a verb is karakam. That is the definition. We are going deep into that.
Then we have discussed about jati and vyakti. When we utter a sentence, whether we have to know the situation behind that, and we have to define whether it belongs to the jati or it belongs to a single individual person. And then Akanksha,
Yogyata, Asakti.
Akanksha, Asakti, and
Akanksha, Yogyata, and Asakti.
Yogyata and Asakti. We define these three between the karta and the kriya that is doing. There is no to form a sentence. All these three should get satisfied. Then only there will be
three prerequisites are there. Essential,
yes.
They are
essentials. Sentence is completely defined only when all these three are well defined. Then there are 7 vibhaktis, as we know, and except shashti, all will be having some kriya attached to that. Only shashti will be having a sambandha relation. It defines the relation between any things, and all the 6 vibhaktis used to define kriya.
Generate kriya. 6 vibhaktis generate kriya. Shashti does not generate a kriya, so shashti cannot be taken as a karakam. So only 6 karakams.
And then,
is it? Okay.
That's what I remember, Acharya.
Okay. Others, anything to throw? Anything to say? Any doubts or clarifications? Raghava, Nandini? Some more people have to come, I think. So shall I proceed now? So here there are 2 things, Siddha and Sadhya. Generally, if you take language, there will be 2 things. One is Siddha, okay, the other is Sadhya. Siddha is noun, Sadhya is kriya. Sadhya means kriya. Kriya means it can be Sadhya can be gamanam, for example, pakaha, Okay. Pathanam. Any kriya you take. Kriya means vyapara. Kriya means vyapara. So the siddhapada is required. Vyapara doesn't happen on itself. Suppose Chaitra Pachati. Pachati you say. Here Pakaha is kriya itself, but in siddharopa. Pachati is kriya itself in kriyaropa. Pachati is a kriya. Okay, so but for generating a kriya, some siddha is required. So siddha means what is some dravyam. Okay, sadhyam means that is to be generated, that is to be performed, that is to be, I mean, done, isn't it? It is to be done. So for doing something one is required. Siddha. The same siddha here is called by the name sadhanam. So sadhanam and sadhyam. Sadhanam is nothing but karakam. So karakam and sadhanam both are synonyms. Paryaya shabdau etau. Is it clear? So Bhartruhari in Padakanda calls this chapter that deals with karakas by the name sadhana samuddesha. He calls it by the name sadhana samuddesha. Sadhana means karakam. Understand? So what is siddha? What is sadhya? So sadhya is kriya. Okay. And Panini said karake. That means kriyayam. When you want to have a kriya, then there will be karakas, kartrakarakam, karmakarakam, karnakarakam, sampradana, apadana, adhikarnakaraka. 6 karakas will be there. This is the general view. Sai Krishna, can you just take the material first page?
Karakam. Yes, sir.
Because it is there before them, so that taking that page, I shall explain the rest of the things one by one. So karakaha actually it is. Karakaha means karta. Karta and karaka both are one and the same. So Panini uses Napunsaka karakam in Sotra. There you see the material karoti iti karakaha, that means karta. What is the derivation of this karaka? Dukre karne is the root, verbal root. Upon that, one kriti prachaya will come. That is nul prachaya will come. Vu is replaced by aka by your anakau sotram. So kru aka vruddhi will be there. Kar aka karaka. This is the shabda nishpatti. This is how karaka shabda is generated by through adding krit pratyaya to a verb. Okay. On verb, 2 kinds of verbal root, 2 kinds of pratyayas are added to a verbal root. 2 kinds of pratyayas. One is called ting. Ting pratyaya, you know, pachati, gachati, etc. The other pratyayas are called ting. Kruta ting is Panini Sotram. Ting bhinna, pratyayah, dhatoho, vihitaha, krit iti namna vyavahriyate. So the pratyaya other than ting, that is instituted on a verbal root is called by the name krit. Okay, tavya tavyani yaraha, for example, kartavyam, karaniyam, kriya, kurtam, kurtavan, kriyamana, shanach. So there are so many pratyayas. These are called krit pratyayas. So krit pratyaya is added to a verbal root. Here the verbal root is dukri karne. Karane is the meaning. Do is some other purpose is there for do. Leave it. Kru. Yakara is for vriddhi. So kru remains. Kru plus nul. Nul. Gu is replaced by aka. Na and la. La is for swara. Na is for vriddhi. So kru plus aka. Vriddhi. Kar aka. Karaka. This is the Shabda Nishpatti. Derivation of the Shabda Karaka. So then why karta is in Pumlinga. Like that karakaha is also in Pumlinga. Karakaha, harakaha, etc. Yes, they are in Pumlinga. But here in Karaka Prakarnam, Panini pointedly used this Napuskalinga. Karakam. So karake is the sutram. Karake means kriyayam. When there is a kriya being generated, in then karta etc. sutras will come. Okay. Then another term is, I might have already expressed, I mean explained, vibhakti. What is vibhakti? Vibhajyate pratipadikaarthaha anaya iti vibhakti. When initially a person learns Sanskritam, he is asked to learn Akarantah Pumlingaha, Rama Shabdaha, Ramaha, Rama, Ramaha, Ramam, Rama, etc. So there the vibhaktis are added. Prathama vibhakti, Ditiya, Tritiya, Chaturthi, Panchami, Shashti, Saptami. So what is the meaning of the term vibhakti? Vibhajyate, being separated. Pratipadikaarthaha, the meaning of Pratipadika. Anaya, by this. Therefore it is called vibhakti. That means, for example, if you say Ramaha, Rama is the Pratipadika in all the vibhaktis. So in Ramaha, when you say Prathama Vibhakti, there it is Kartrakarakam, Karta. Ramam, there it is Karmakarakam. That means Pratipadika, okay, has got Shakti, Shakti Karakam. We are going to discuss thoroughly, isn't it? So 6 kinds of Shaktis are there in a thing, in a Pratipadika, because we do not differentiate between having life, not having life, etc., etc. No, because there may be some shabdas like Gagana Kusumam. Gagana Kusumam, that itself is not there. Gagana is there, sky. Kusumam, flower, is also there. But Gagana Kusumam is not there. Nevertheless, this shabda is being used. So we take it this way, that irrespective of having life or not, we are not concerned with that at all. We are concerned only with Shabda Swarupam. If the Shabda Swarupam is like this, Ramaha, Ramena, Vrikshaha, Vrikshat, etc., then what will be the Shakti that is being denoted, expressed? That much only we are concerned. Is it clear? Now, so vibhakti means the pratipadika is separated by these things. So these are called vibhaktis. That means karakam is related to artha, semantics. Because Kartrikarakam, Karmakarakam, we are going to take up the sutras, Panini sutras, and discuss thoroughly, isn't it? That means, but Kartrika, Ramaha, when you look at the Shabda or hear the Shabda, do you get to Kartrikarakam? Unless and until you study Karaka Prakarana. No. That means the meaning is there. Meaning is within, inside. Then how to know? That is the Vibhakti Prachaya is a representative of that Karakam. Is it clear? So at syntactic level, it is Prachaya, Vibhakti Prachaya. Su, Aujas, Aujas, etc. At semantic level, it is Kartrikarakam, Karmakarakam, Karnakarakam, etc. So 6 Vibhaktis denote, each one of them denote each Karakam. Shashti denotes the Sambandha. We have discussed it. So at semantic level, it is Karakam. That means Karakam, Kartrikarakam, Karmakarakam, etc. are Artha Samujna. And Su, Aujas, Prathama Vibhakti, Ditiya Vibhakti, etc. is Shabda Samujna. Do you find the difference? What is the difference between Karakam and Vibhakti? Vibhakti is Prathama, Ditiya, Tritiya, etc. is Shabda Samujna. Kartrikarakam, Karmakarakam, etc. is Artha Samujna. We are going to study what is Karta, Sadantra Karta, what is Karma, what is Karnam, etc. So those meanings are there, and to denote those meanings through a Shabda Swarupam, it can be Shabda Swarupam. Shabda means Prakriti, Prachaya, anything. So here it is Vibhakti Prachaya that denotes a particular Karakam. Is it clear? So Karakam is an Artha Samujna. Vibhakti Prachaya is Vibhakti is a Shabda Samujna. Vibhakti has got 3, vachanas, you know all that. And 7 kinds of vibhaktis are there. Of course, only 6 of them are Karakas. Shashti denotes Sambandha. The relation between 2 things, not between a Dravyam and a Kriya, but a relation between two dravyas. It's denoted by Shashti. Therefore, since Shashti does not generate a kriya, take an example. Chaitrasya graham. Chaitrasya, someone said. Chaitrasya what? That means the akanksha is for a noun, not for kriya. Chaitrasya graham, Chaitrasya pustakam, Chaitrasya bharya, etc. So the answer will be a noun. That means Shashti Vibhakti denotes the relation, sambandha between two things. Sambandha requires minimum two things. A person may have sambandha with so many people. Doesn't matter. But minimum two persons. Is it clear? And when you say Chaitraha, for example, then the question will be what Chaitra is doing. That means the akanksha is for kriya, not noun. Is it clear? That is the difference between the 6 karakas and on one side and Shashti, that is Sambandha on the other. So Sambandha cannot be considered as Karakam. Is it clear up to this point? See, Karakam is actually mostly, this is less prakriya and more semantics. One has to understand. This is the most difficult aspect in Ashtadhyayi, total Panini. But once you understand this, okay, then you can apply it to any language. You can interpret the meaning of a sentence of any language, taking Karaka Prakriya. Is it okay? So, any other, anything, any kind of usage, linguistic usage, this is universal, can be put under any one of the 6 Karakas or Shashti. Although Panini is writing this Karaka Prakriya for Sanskritam, since he was a Maharshi, his words will be useful for other languages also. Actually, he did not mean other languages. But the same Prakriya, same Karaka, same Karta, Karma, Karam, etc., these things will apply to any language across the globe. That is the greatness. And in no other language will you find this kind of Prakriya. No. Forget about it. If you ask in, take up for example in English, what they say, karta means subject, karta means agent, karta means doer. Is it so? There are so many problems by saying so. They do not define anything. The problem is that. Whereas Panini, you are going to study Satantra Karta. Karta is the only Karaka who is Swatantra. What is meant by Swatantra, what Panini meant, and what is Swatantriyam, that we are going to discuss thoroughly. Picture is clear until now? Any doubts? So, that is Karakam Karoti Kriyan Janayati iti Karakam Karta Karma Artha Samjna Chaitraha Odanam Pachati Kartari Prayogaha Chaitrin Odanam Pachyate Karmani Prayoga. Actually, generally we say there are 6 Karakas. Generally. But strictly speaking, there are only 2 Karakas that can be called directly by the name Karakas. Because you have Kartari Prayoga and Karmani Prayoga. Chaitraha Pachati. Chaitra is cooking. Chaitrena Pachyate. Cooking, it is Pakaha. It is being cooked by Chaitra. Isn't it? Bhave Prayoga is there. Bhave Prayoga does not fall under this category. So, active voice, passive voice, you have only 2. So, either Karta or Karma only can generate a Kriya. But you said 6 Karakas are there. Yes, we said. Why? Because Karanam, Sampradanam, Apadanam, Adhikaranam, we are going to take up examples. Okay. Also are generating Kriya through Karta or Karma, but not directly. So Karta and Karma are generating a Kriya directly. Because Kartari Prayoga, Karmani Prayoga. Isn't it? Chaitraha Parashuna Vrikshan Chinatti. Parashuna is Karanam, an instrument in an activity called cutting. Okay? There, for example, Chaitra is not there, Karta is not there. Can a Parashu go and chop the tree? That means Karanam also is Karakam, but indirectly, not directly. Indirectly, what do you mean? Through Karta or Karma. Sampradana Karaka, let us take. What is Sampradana Karaka? Chaitraha Vipraya Gam Dadati. Chaitra is donating a cow to a Vipra, a Brahmana who studied Veda. Okay. But here, without karma, cow, can Sampradhanam come? See, Sampradhanam is just donating, isn't it? But what is he donating? Gam, Gau. Gau is karma, object. So without karma, can you have Sampradhanam? That means Sampradhana Karaka, by and large, cannot directly generate a verb, a kriya. But through Karma Karakam. See how deep it is going. That is not a joke. Language. Panini has to say. Outside, many people go on talking, using language, doing this and that. But let them sit down here and discuss. Actually, what is happening? Take up Adhikarana Karakam, for example. What is the example? Chaitraha. Sthalyam Pakam Pachati. Isn't it? Sthalyam means in a vessel. Chaitra is cooking something. Suppose Chaitra is not there. Sthalyam is Adhikarana Karakam. Adhikaranam is putting in. I told you in the beginning, these are prepositions. In, on, over, all these things. Whereas in Sanskritam and Indian languages, these are postpositions. In English, in London. In Japanese, London ni. So postposition it will become. So what happens is, Adhikarana Karakam, if you want to say, he is cooking, Chaitra is cooking in a vessel. Cooking in a vessel, will it happen without Chaitra Karta? No. Karta is required. Isn't it? Karta has to come, take a vessel, put some rice, clean it, put some water, put the sharava, that is lid, place on the hearth, and see through what is Kriya we are going to explain. It is not so easy to understand what is Kriya. Kriya we are going to deal with. Okay. And then after completion, he is going to put it down. Once the Paka is ready, he will put it down. All these things, will they happen without Karta? So you said in a sthali, in a vessel, Chaitra is cooking. So without Chaitra Karta, will this happen? Now you understand what is meant by indirectly generating the, no doubt. Paka is happening, Pachati is happening. Sthali is Adhikarana Karakam, no doubt about it. But can you say Sthalyam Pachati? Then the question will be who? Akanksha will be who is cooking in a sthali, in a vessel. You have to name the Karta. That means Adhikarana Karakam can be called Karakam. Okay. Through Karta only, but not directly. Is it clear to some extent at least? Murali Mohanji.
Yes, sir. Clear, sir. Very clear.
Because once you go to Vakyapadiyam, that language is very high standard language. So first in ordinary language, if you understand the bhava, then terminology is not a difficult problem. Huh?
Yes, sir.
So, one more thing. Chaitran Odanaf Pachyate, there Karmani Prayoga. Karmani Prayoga means Pachyate, being cooked. Chaitra Pachyate Kartar Prayoga, Karta is cooking. That is actually what is generally outside you call. So Chaitra is cooking, Chaitra is Karta, cooking is the Pachyati. I shall explain what is the Pachya and Ti. I shall explain again, we'll come back. Chaitrena Odanaf Pachyate. Chaitraha Odanam Pachati, Odanam Dvitiya Vibhakti. Okay. When you go to Karmani Prayoga, Pachyate, then Odana got Prathama Vibhakti instead of Dvitiya. It became Odanaha, not Odanam. Kartari Prayoga, Odanam is correct. Karmani Prayoga, this same thing which you have taken or branded as karma became Prathama, got Prathama. And Chaitra Karta got a Tritiya Vibhakti. Because Chaitra became Karna, instrument. He is instrumental in the act of cooking. In Chaitra Pachati, Chaitra is Karta, subject in the act of cooking. Cooking only is generally taken in entire Karaka Prakriya because that is easily understood. Except for those people who are staying in hostels and all that. Otherwise, at home, even those people when they come for holidays, they will watch the what is happening in the kitchen. So easily understood, and most of the karakas can be brought under this cooking. Okay, one thing. Second thing is how to decide karakam. No, one cannot decide karakam because it is left to the speaker. Take an English sentence. Chaitra polished the shoes with polish. Here with polish, Karanam. This polish polishes well. The Karanam polish earlier became Kartana. And when there is a facility, easily it can be carried out, then one may use, sir, how far your cooking has come? Sthali Pachati. The cooker is cooking. Sthali, time and again, you need not stir, you need not attend and just do too much of exercise. So, Saukaryatishayam Yotayitum. The facility, it is too much facilitated. That means you are given the minimum exercise, minimum pay. I mean, you have to put in the effort. So, Sthali Pachati. Sthalyam Pachati, Chaitraha Sthalyam Pachati. There, Sthali is Adhikarana Karakam. But here, Katham, how is the cooking? Sthali Pachati. I just left it and the Sthali is cooking, vessel is cooking. Here, Sthali became Kartri. Earlier, it was Adhikarana Karakam. Now it became Kartri Karakam. So, what do you mean to say? I mean to say that Karaka depends upon the speaker. Vivaksha it is called. Vaktum Ichha Vivaksha. A desire to say. Okay. Vaktum Ichha Vivaksha. If you want to say that the vessel is easily getting cooked, then you say the vessel itself is cooking. These usages are there in any language. So, the niyama is vivakshataha karakani bhavanti. Karakas will happen following vivaksha. Vivaksha bhaktivichha. Bhaktivichha of the speaker. Vyakaranam deals with speech only, not writing. One may apply to writing and do all that kind of this thing. We are not very much concerned. But speech. Is it clear? So, sometimes that means the Karaka is not fixed. What I mean to say? Karaka is not fixed. It depends upon the way, the style, the shaili of the Bhakta. Bhakta prefers to say, Sthali Pachiti. The cooker is cooking. Why to use like that? Saukaryati Shayam Dvabjatayitum. To express the facility he has been enjoying, people will use such kind of sentences. Is it clear? Any doubts? Okay, this axe cuts nicely. Ka'Rakam axe. Chaitra chopped the tree with an axe. The axe is cutting well. So axe itself became karta instead of karna. So these things do happen. Panini does not expressly say anything in Sotra. Sotra is an elliptical sentence. A lot of meaning is there. So does he encode it by Panini, and he simply says, Sadhagatamam karanam satantrah karta karmana yamabhipraiti sasampradanam. Like that, he gives small sutras. Then we have to decode. Each sutram has got 10 pages of meaning. What actually Panini meant. This is unique to Sanskritam, unique to Vyakarana. In Mimamsa, Vedanta, etc. also, you find a lot of commentary on that. But their sutras are lengthy, at least to like a sentence. But in Panini, last sutram is Tata, Brook Bond, he went home. Panini said and went home. And people were struggling, breaking their heads. What Panini went by So Patanjali goes on commenting on that. What he meant is, that means without, in Telugu there is one novel, Kanyashalakam of 1860. There he says, see, those sentences without commentary, without yakyanam, you cannot understand. That means they are pregnant with meaning, loaded with meaning. So Sotram, then Achyahara, then from earlier sutras, some words come to this Sotram, then some Adhikara sutras are there, which run into so many sutras, and then Achyahara, you have to supplement some words which are not there, but which are required, essential to get a complete meaningful sentence called vritti. Is it clear? So now, Vivakshataha karakani bhavanti. By Vivaksha only, karakas will happen. That is the meaning. Since you said karoti kriya nirvartayati iti karakam, okay, there is slight difference among these commentators. Bhattoji Dikshita in Praudhanam, a commentary on Kaumudi, okay, said kriya anvayatvam karakatvam. If any shabda has got connection with the kriya, that will be a karaka. But Nagesh Bhatta in Manjusha and other commentaries like Shabdendra Shakhara refuted and said, no, it is not kriyanvayatvam, kriya janakatvam karakatvam. Otherwise, there will be problems. Okay, those things we are not going deep now. Brahmanasya putram bandhanam prichyati. Here, Brahmanasya also has got some connection or the other with prichyati. Asking, isn't it? Then Brahmanasya also will become a karaka. But it has got shashti. Prayogashanam Vyakaranam. Panini is not Shabdanam Srashta, but he is Smarta. That means already usages are there in the world, in the Veda and Loka. Those usages are taken and being analyzed by Panini. So he is a Smarta, registrar. What a registrar does in a university, he takes up a register and goes on writing the names, marks, certificate, all those things he maintains. I mean, you cannot go to register and ask, what are you doing? But he is assisted by many people. But actually, who maintains a register is a registrar. Similarly, here Panini also, he is giving a register of Shabdas that are already there in usage in 1130 branches of Veda, as well as Laukika, that is Vedangas, Darshanas, Upavedas, Puranas, Kavyas, all the Is it clear now? So, Kriya Janakatvam Karakatvam is Siddhanta. Now, let us go slightly up. Sai Krishna, slightly up. Before going to Swashaya Samavetanam, the verse I have given, Vakyapadiyam, let us go to, we will come back. Let us go to the next this thing. Padarthaha Dvivithaha. Padartha is of two types. One is Sadhyaha, the other is Siddhaha. Sadhya means to be performed. Okay. That means some activity is required. What is that? Kriya. So Sadhya means Kriya. Siddha means Siddha Nishpadakaha. The one which generates a Kriya is called Siddha. Siddha need not necessarily be tangible. Here in Vyakaranam, Artha is nothing but Bauddhartha only. Imaginary meaning only is taken. For example, Chaitraha Dhananasham Karoti. Can you see or show Dhananasha? No, we cannot. Isn't it? Therefore, whatever is there in your buddhi is to be taken as Siddha. Upon that, you will get the vibhaktis and all that, that is okay. So, Siddha and Sadhya, two kinds of Padartha. Sadhya Kriya Rupaha. Sadhya means in the form of a Kriya. It can be Yaga, it can be Paka, it can be Gamanam, Adhyayanam, etc. And Sadhyat, what is the derivation of Sadhya? Sadhyate Nishpadyate iti Sadhya. The one that is being produced is called Sadhya. That means a Kriya. This Kriya can be Bhota, Bhavishyat or Vartamana. Doesn't make any difference. But it is to be produced. That is to be actually done. Is it clear? So, for creating something, Kriya is there. Kriya cannot be seen or shown. We have already discussed it. To produce a Kriya, something is required, some Padartha is required. What is that? That is Siddha. Paka Kriya is there. There should be some Siddha to produce Paka, to cook. Take it easily. To cook some Siddha is there. Who is that? Chaitra. So Chaitra is Siddha. Pachati is Kriya. Pachati can be denoted either through Kradanta like Pakaha or Kriyaropa Pachati. Doesn't make it Yagaha Yajati. Okay. Adhyeti Adhyayanam. Gachati Gamanam. In either form you can say. So now, so the Nishpadaka is Siddha, you said no. The same is Sadhanam. What is Sadhanam? Sadhanam is an instrument. Oh, here what is it doing, this Sadhanam? Sadhanam is generating an activity, a Kriya. Oh, that means Karakam and Sadhanam both are synonyms. Karakam means Kriya Janakatvam, you said. Sadhanam means the one which generates a Kriya, which performs a Kriya, which makes a Kriya happen. Isn't it? Then Karakam and Sadhanam anarthamtaram. There is no difference in the meaning. Both are synonyms. Is it clear? In Lakshmi ji. Any doubt?
Avagatam.
Okay. So, Nishpadaka eva, the one which generates, which produces a Kriya, an activity, is Karakam or also called Sadhana. Then, Sadhyayaha Kriyayaha Sadhanasya Siddhavastunasya Kriyakaraka Bhavaha Sambandhaha. Then, you said Padarthaha Dvivithaha. One is Sadhya, the other is Sadhana. Sadhana means a Karakam. Sadhya means a Kriya. So what is the relation between this Kriya and the Karaka? Kriya Karaka Bhavaha. Okay, this is a Kriya that is being produced, and the one which produces is a Karaka. So Kriya Karaka Bhava is Sambandha. Just like Rajya Purushaha, Raja Purushaha. What is the relation between Raja and Purusha? Raja thinks, Purusha is mind. Purusha thinks Raja is mine. Purusha renders some service to Raja, and Raja pays something for the service rendered. So here, Sevya Sevaka Bhava is the Sambandha. Sevya is Raja, Sevaka is. Similarly, Dampatya Sambandha, conjugal relation. After marriage, except physically, there are no two persons. Forget about it. Okay. Ardhova Esha Atmano Yatpatni. This is from Krishna Yajurveda. Half of the body. Patni is nothing but half of the body. Ardhova Esha Atmano Yajyaya. This is from Shatapatha Brahmanam. Jaya. Jaya or Patni, both are one and the same. So, according to Vedic Sampradaya, there are no two persons. So, there cannot be pocket money or anything they like. In Vedic families such as ours, ladies won't ask for money. No. Rather, they are expected to take. Otherwise, what happens if she is asking, you are giving, means you are the owner and she is not the, she doesn't have any right on that. No. Out of question. That is against Purvamimamsa. What Purvamimamsa says? Dampatyoho sahadhikarat, 6th adhyaya. Dampatyoho. Okay. Dampati, Jampati, Jayapati. All the three mean the same. Sahadhikarat. They have got right, equal right upon everything. No question of giving and taking. This is imported. This back pocket money, Godari, gang. In many things we have imported bad things. Among them, pocket money is one. Take it that way. We do not much discuss. That is Mlecha Sampradaya, not Arya Sampradaya. We are Aryas. Perfect language, Sanskritam, Arya Bhasha, Devi Bhasha. We speak and discuss. We follow these tenets. Whereas those people, they are Mlechas. Aspashta Bhashanam. What's your name? How are you going? And they don't follow Vedic Sampradaya, so they have got their own these things which are totally unacceptable to us. Leave it there. So now, Sadhyayaha Kriyayaha Sadhanasya Siddhavattvastunasya Kriyakaraka Bhavaha Sambandha. That is Bhava by Bhava Shabda it is. Now, Evancha Sadhane Kriya Jayate. So it is clear. By Sadhanam, that means by Karakam, Kriya Jayate. Kriya is born. And atra sadhanam na vastu rupam kintu vastunaha shakti. Shakti we are going to discuss. Sadhanam you are saying. What do you mean by sadhanam? Tell me. Chaitraha pachati. Chaitra is standing here. There is vessel with rice, water, everything is there. So will Paka will take place? Paka, will it happen just like that because Chaitra is there and the rest of the things are here? No. Chaitra has to move, to go, put it on the head, like this thing, do everything, all these things. Who is doing? Ordinary people say it is Chaitra. Whereas if you learn Shastras, you will say that is the Shakti that is there in Chaitra. Take another example. Chaitraha Parashuna Vruksham Chinatti. There are three things. One is Chaitra, the other is Parashu, third one is tree. Kriya is Chadanam. Now, if all the three are there, will Chadanam take place? No. Chaitra has to come, lift the axe, make it fall on the tree, then only cutting will be. That means it is not the axe that is cutting the tree. Rather, that is the Shakti that is there in the axe that is cutting the tree. Isn't it? But you said Parashana Chanatti by you said Parashana Chanatti by that means We do not treat Parashu and its Shakti, Dravyam and Shakti, or mass and energy as separate. No. Both are one and the same. Then where is the problem? Problem is with Mimamsakas who accept Shakti as a different Dravyam, and Vaisheshikas who say Shakti Shaktimatoh Abhedah. Shakti and the one which has got Shakti, that is Dravyam, okay, both are one and the same for us. Declare Vaisheshika Darshana, who follow Paramanuvada. Whereas Mimamsakas say, no, for us Shakti is separately required when we are discussing Yaga, etc. in Purva Mimamsa. But for Panini and Patanjali, they use both. They want to pacify Vaisheshikas and Mimamsakas. Baba, whether you want a single one without any difference, Dravya and Shakti, or you want separately Dravyam and Shakti, we are the least bothered. We don't want to enter into any kind of these discussions. Either way, it is okay for us. But strictly speaking, on the top, Siddhanta is Shakti kArakam. Because Samarthyam means capacity. If a person got Uttirnata in an exam, or he could ride a motorbike, pilot some aeroplane, etc. What is that is directly useful in that particular activity? Tell me. That is the Shakti that is there in that particular person. Oh, the Samarthyam. And the one who has got Shakti, you said he is Samartha, he has got Samarthyam. And the other person doesn't have Samarthya, he cannot do. That you are differentiating Viveka, separation, through Shakti only, Samarthyam only. Therefore, we prefer to say Shakti kArakam. Any doubts? Lakshmi.
कृपया साध्यायाः क्रियायाः साधनस्य तद्वाक्यम् एकवारं पुनः विवृण्वन्ति वा?
साध्यायाः क्रियायाः क्रिया साध्या किल साध्यते इति साध्या इति किल साध्यते निष्पाद्यते इत्यर्थः साध्या इत्यस्य का साध्या क्रिया ओन्ली क्रियैव साध्यते यदि सिद्धवस्तु तत्र वर्तते तत्र साध्यं किमस्ति किमपि नास्ति तस्मात् सिद्धवस्तु अपेक्षया क्रियायाः भेदः वर्तते वा न वा क्रिया अन्या वा न वा अन्यैव कस्मात् सा साध्या इदानीं तत्र नास्ति पाकक्रिया अत्र नास्ति यदि चैत्रः आगच्छति तेन सह तण्डुलान् आनेष्यति एवमेव तत्र स्थालीय अपि भविष्यति यदि सः पाकः कथं करणीयः इति जानाति तदानीमेव पाकक्रिया साधयितुं शक्यते एवं किल तस्मात् साध्यशब्दः अत्र अर्थवान् व्युत्पत्त्यर्थः स्पष्टं किल एवमेव सिद्धः इत्यस्य सिद्धं भोजनम् इन तेलुगु आल्सो अस्माभिः प्रयुज्यते सिद्धः ओदनः सिद्धं भोजनं वाहनं सिद्धं व्हाट डू यू मीन बाय सिद्धं
साधितं तत्र कार्यं
तत्र साधयितुं न साध्या साधयितुं नेष्यते न किञ्चिदपि तत्र साधयितुं किन्तु सिद्धमेव इत्यस्य को अर्थः यत्किञ्चित् गमनादिकं यदि इष्यते तर्हि तत्र अश्वः वाहनत्वेन सिद्धः अस्ति तर्हि सिद्धं नाम साधनं किल साधनं नाम कारकमेव किल कस्मात् क्रियानिष्पादकत्वात् तस्मात् साध्यायाः क्रियायाः साधनस्य सिद्धवस्तुनश्च साधनञ्च सिद्धवस्तु न किञ्चित् तत्र कर्तव्यं वर्तते अन्नं सिद्धम् इत्युच्यमाने को वार्थः अन्नं तावत् खादितुं शक्यते स्वीकर्तुं शक्यते भोक्तुं शक्यते न किञ्चित् तत्र पाकादिकम् इष्यते इत्यर्थः तस्मात् सिद्धशब्दः साध्यशब्दः सिद्धशब्दश्च साधनमेव भवति कस्मात् साधनेनैव यत्किञ्चित् साध्यते ओके साध्यते इत्यस्य क्रिया इत्येव अर्थः। सिद्धवस्तुनि न किञ्चिदपि साध्यं वर्तते, न किञ्चिदपि वर्तते। स्पष्टं वा?
आम् स्पष्टम्।
अनयोः द्वयोरपि मध्ये क्रियाकारकभावः सम्बन्धः अस्माभिः स्पष्टं वक्तव्यः। द्वौ मनुष्यौ गच्छतः, तयोर्मध्ये कः सम्बन्धः? मैत्री वा बन्धुत्वं वा यत्किञ्चिदपि वक्तुं शक्यते, किन्तु सम्बन्धः कः इति अस्माभिः निर्वचनीयः, स्पष्टं वक्तव्यः। तस्मात् अत्र क्रियाकारकयोर्मध्ये सिद्धसाध्ययोर्मध्ये अथवा साध्य साधनयोः मध्ये क्रियाकारकभावः सम्बन्धः व्यवस्थापितः। सः सहजतया वर्तते, अस्माभिः न किञ्चित् क्रियते। अत्र लोके शब्दप्रयोगे तथैव वर्तते। स्पष्टं वा?
आम् बहु स्पष्टं वर्यः, धन्यवादः।
तस्मात् एवञ्च साधनेन क्रिया जायते। अत्र साधनं न वस्तुरूपं किन्तु वस्तुनः शक्तिः, अर्थात् शक्तिः कारकं। साधनं नाम न केवलं साधनं साक्षात् द्रव्यरूपं, किन्तु द्रव्यगता या शक्तिः वर्तते सा शक्तिरेव साधनशब्देन कारकशब्देन च उच्यते। स्पष्टं वा
महोदय?
अनन्तरं साईकृष्ण
महोदय भवता वैशेषिकानां मतं मीमांसकानां च उक्तं। शक्तिमतोः अभेदं वैशेषिका ब्रुवते, शक्तिः भिन्नः पदार्थः इति पूर्वमीमांसकाः। वैयाकरणानां किं मतं भवति?
वैयाकरणानां मतमपि वैयाकरणैः किं क्रियते स्पष्टतया इदमिति नोच्यते, किन्तु कारकं नाम शक्तिरेव कारकम् इति उक्तं किल। शक्तिः कारकमिति स्वीकृत्यैव कारकप्रक्रिया प्रचलति वैयाकरणैः। किन्तु व्याकरणसूत्रेषु महाभाष्ये च तत्र तत्र द्रव्यमपि कारकत्वेन स्वीकृतम् उक्तं पाणिनिना पतञ्जलिना च। एवमेव द्रव्यगतशक्तिः कारकम् इति रूपेण व्यक्तं। तस्मात् उभयमपि स्वीकृतं वैयाकरणैः स्पष्टतया। सूत्राणि वर्तन्ते, महाभाष्यमपि वर्तते।
एवं
स्पष्टं वा?
एवं।
केन पृष्टः अयं प्रश्नः?
मया न स्मृतः, भवता एकवारम् उक्तं किन्तु न गृहीतम्, अतः पृष्टं मया।
केन पृष्टं भवतां नाम?
स्वामीजी।
तपसिद्धानन्दः।
स्वामीजी सर्वेपि न दृश्यन्ते अत्र, तस्मात् मया नकस्य अस्तु अस्तु।
आमां दर्शनयन्त्रमपि कार्यं करोति अधुना।
करोति, किन्तु मया किञ्चित् अयं ग्रन्थः स्वीकृतः किल, तस्मात् केचन एव जनाः दृश्यन्ते, अपरे मया द्रष्टुं शक्यन्ते।
धन्यवादः।
वदन्तु। अनन्तरं साईकृष्ण अनन्तरं इदानीं जपसिद्धान्तस्य दृश्यन्ते। शक्तिः कारकं, शक्तिमतोः अभेदात् शक्तिमत् अपि कारकं, शक्तिमच्च द्रव्यं च कारकम्। So in Loka, what happens? People go on discussing, fighting with each other. No, mass is different, energy is different. What? Still in scientific circles, people go on discussing this, isn't it? So vastutaha, you cannot separate Shakti from Shaktiman. There is Shaktiman. From him, can you separate Shakti? No. What do you mean by can you separate? Can you separate and see or show for me? No. So Parashu you can see, but the Shakti in Parashu that is useful in cutting cannot be seen. That's why these things are called bhava. In mind, one may have a bhava. Alankara Shastra depends upon bhava. So Bauddhartha we take in Vyakarana. Whichever imaginary, whichever image is there in the mind, that only will be taken, not the real cow. No. So when you say Ghatam Kuru, produce a Ghatam, what does it mean? Buddhistham Ghatam Bahyastham Kuru. This is explained in Padamanjari. by Haradatta Mishra. In your buddhi, you already have a ghata, isn't it? The same ghata, you produce it bahya sangu. So, Bauddhartha has to become bahyartha. Without bahyartha, there cannot be Bauddhartha. Or some image may be there, roughly Gaganakusumam, Manjhaputraha, son of a barren woman. Barren woman is there, Putra is also there, but barren woman's son is not there. So Gaganam is there, Kusumam is there, Gaganakusumam is not there. So Kumar Bhatta says in Shlakavartikam, Atyanta Satya Vihyathe Jnanam Shabdah Karotihi. See, Atyanta Asat. Atyantam Asat means totally it is non-existent. Nevertheless, a Shabda doesn't have any difficulty in producing the Jnana. His wishes are Gaganakusmas, sky flowers, for example, let us say. So a person gets the Jnana of Gaganakusumam, although a thing need not necessarily be tangible. A thing called a Gaganakusumam, sky flower, does not exist at all. From Taittiriya Shankara Bhashyam, I will give that verse. Mragatrushnam bhasisnataha. Mragatrishna, Marichika. See, these monkeys, etc., during summer in the forest, they run for water. They find some Mragatrishna. Just when the sun rays enter, mix it with Vayu, there is some sort of Pratibimba like water like. And the monkeys, etc., run for that. Go on running, never to get. It is Mragatrishna. And a person who bathed in a Mragatrishna waters, Mragatrishnaam bhasisnataha, Shashashrungadhanudharaha. Shesha, we know that, rabbit's horn. He was holding a dhanus made of rabbit's horn. Rabbit is there, horn is there, rabbit's horn is not there. But he is holding the dhanus made of Esha Vandhyasuto Yati Kapushpa Kratashekaraha. Esha Vandhyasutaha, the son of a barren woman, is going with Kapushpa. Kham means Akasha. Akashi Pushpa having in his head, on his head. This Vandhyaputra, okay, put the Gaganakusumam on his head and holding a dhanus made of rabbit's horns, he is going, having bathed in Mragatrishna Jala. This verse is provided by Shankaracharya in the Bhashya of Taittiriya Upanishad. So here, Atyanta Sat, bilkul nahi, totally it is absent. Okay, so such kind of shabdas are there. What? This is actually said in by Kumarila Bhatta first, then it went to Khandana Khanda Khadyam of Sriharsha. Sriharsha quoted in that top level work on Advaita. And then in Vakyapadiyam also, Vakyakanda, Bhartrhari, we come across this kind of examples. Now,
Mahodaya, कृपया कुमारिल भट्टपादानां श्लोकं वदन्ति वा?
अवश्यम्. अत्यन्तासत्यपि ह्यर्थे ज्ञानं शब्दः करोति हि. This is from Pratyaksha Sutram of Shlakavartikam. Arthe Atyanta Satyaphi Purnataya Arthe Asati Api Atha Sarvatha Nasti. Tathapi Shabdaha Jnanam Karotihi Jnanam Utpadayati. Shabdaha Vartate, Arthaha Vartate, Jnanam Vartate. एकं योगानुशासनसूत्रमपि लिखन्तु। शब्दज्ञानानुपाती
वस्तुशून्यो विकल्पः।
वस्तुशून्यो विकल्पः। प्रथमाध्याये 9मं सूत्रं 1-9 शब्दज्ञानानुपाती वस्तुशून्यः विकल्पः। योगानुशासनं फर्स्ट अध्याय 9th सूत्र। They call it वैकल्पिक ज्ञान। शब्दं ज्ञानं च अनुपतति। शब्दं ज्ञानं च पुरस्कृत्य अनुपतति। It is coming to mind. वस्तुशून्यः, that thing is not there. गगनकुसुमम् is not there. But by the shabda गगनकुसुमम्, something is coming into the mind. This is called वैकल्पिक ज्ञान by yogins, Yoganushasana, Patanjali. Okay. Why we are discussing these things? We are going to have pratipadikas like this. Pratipadika. What is pratipadikam? Arthavatu adhatuhu apratyayah pratipadikam. Panini Sutram. Arthavatu, meaningful. Adhatuhu, dhatu also has got some meaning, but don't take it. Dhatu bhinnaha. Apratyayah. Pratyayas have got some meaning. Pratyayas also you should not take. So other than dhatu and pratyaya, any shabda swarupam, any shabda with meaning is called pratipadikam. Arthava dadhatuhu apratyayah pratipadikam. Pratipadika is nominal root. Arthava dadhatuhu apratyayah pratipadikam. Rama is a pratipadika, Gagana is a pratipadika, Hari is a pratipadika, and so on and so forth. Okay? Pratipadika Artha we are going to discuss in the beginning of Karakam. Actual Karakam we have not yet come. No, we have not yet started Kaumudi. It is still there. Because unless and until you have all the background, if you directly start, what people are doing is this. They do not define. This is not a complaint, but people, they have been doing like that for hundreds of years. They do not define a karakam. They do not define what is kriya, what is the relational, and so on and so forth. What is direct karakam, indirect karakam? No, nothing. So directly they start the Kaumudi. What will students and will understand? Okay. So now, Vaisheshika Darshan, Paramimamsa Darshanam, Shakti Atiriktah Padarthaha, Tasma Shakti Karakam. That is to be taken. Vaisheshika Mate Shakti na Atiriktah Padarthaha. No, it is not separate from Dravyam. Tasmat Shakti Mata Dravyam Karakam. So Vaisheshika say Dravyam Karakam. Mimamsaka say Shakti Karakam. Vaiyakarana say Dravyam Karakam, Shakti Karakam. The Shakti Karakam is top. Any doubts?
Acharya, Vaiheshikas say that there is no difference between Dravyam and Shakti, then why they say Karakam, Dravyam is the cause of Karakam? Why?
No. Here Karakam you are saying Parashuna Chanati. Chaitra. Chaitra is chopping the tree with a
Axe.
Axe. Now, is it axe that is cutting the tree or the Shakti that is cutting the tree? Strictly speaking, Shaktimat Dravyam. Parashuma with the Shakti that is inherited in that is already there in that. Isn't it?
Yes.
So since separately they don't want to see separately. Because Shakti is Shaktimat. Shaktimat means the one having Shakti is called Shaktimat. Isn't it? So Shakti is one. Shaktimat means Dravyam. So Dravyam and Shakti, can you separate?
No.
That is their argument.
Then why to say especially Dravyam?
Dravyam means Vastu.
Yeah, I mean,
since Jati Dravyam.
Why Vaisheshikas are saying only Dravyam when they say that there is no difference between Dravyam and Shakti?
No, you have to say either. You have to say Shakti Karakam or Dravyam Karakam. If you say Dravyam Karakam, mass only will be taken. If you say Shakti Karakam, Shakti only will be taken. Either we have to say, but he cannot escape. See, Ashoka Manikanyaya, you know, where to put Sita. Then Ravana said, I will put under Ashokavana. Then someone said, hey, by Ashokavana, it is, there are banyan trees, Vatavruksha, they are cool during summer, and during winter they are warm. Kupotakam Matachaya, Tambolam, Taruni Kuchu, Shetakale, Bhavedushnam, Oshnakale to Shetalam. That is what is generally said, air conditioning, something like that. So let us put Sita under banyan tree, Vatavruksha. Someone came. What are you doing? Why don't you put Sita? So many mango trees are there. Come on, shift her to mango tree. So Ravana shifted Sita to a mango tree. Another person came. Did you study Vriksha Ayurveda? Do you know what happens if it is a neem tree? Do you know what happens if the wind that touches neem tree and comes into house? Put her under neem tree. So Ravana shifted Sita to neem tree. Where to put Sita? Somewhere or the other to put her. Ravana cannot just hold the palm and go on moving. No. So under some tree or the other, she has to be put. There may be arguments for and against. Okay. So either you have to say Shakti or you have to say Dravyam. You can't escape without saying either. So since Vaisheshikas think there is no difference whatsoever between Shakti and Shaktimat. Shaktimat means Dravyam. We call Dravyam Karakam. Actually, what is sadhanam from Bauddhas, Advaitins, etc.? I will give the list. Different people treated differently. What is sadhanam? That I will give separately. I am not mixing it because it is very confusing. Bauddha and all others. Is it clear now? Sai Krishna?
Yes, Acharya.
They call it Dravyam. Here, Bhartrihari in the first verse, he says, Samathyam sadhanam viduhu. Shakti itself is Karakam. Opined Panini, Patanjali, etc. Is it clear? Now, Kolam Vipati, now Mimamsa, Pauro Mimamsa is over, Vaisheshika is over. Now just to go to Advaita Darshan, there is one problem. What is that? Kolam Vipatishadi. Kolam means the bank. Pipatishati patitum ichyati. The bank is falling because of the water, whatever it may be. So here the usage is there in Sanskritam. The kolam wants to wishes. Pepatishati patitum ichyati. Sanprachayanta. Jignasa jnatum ichha. Jignasate. Jigisha jetum ichha. Okay. Pipasa patum ichha. Bubhuksha bhoktum ichha. Like that. Isn't it? So similarly here also kolam vipatishati. The sun means ichha. It wants to fall. Actually, ichha you find with things or people who have got mind. Isn't it? Ichha is connected closely with mind. Here, that is the bank. How can you use bank wants to fall? Because bank does not have mind. Question is clear. See, चैत्रस्य विवक्षा अस्ति वक्तुम् इच्छा चैत्रस्य पिपासा अस्ति सीतायाः जिगीषा अस्ति like that about people having life chetana chaitanyam. If there is chaitanyam, then it automatically means they have mind. So this is manodharma. Having a desire, ichha is manodharma. How can you say bank of a river has got an ichha to fall? Question is clear. Then Patanjali said, Sarvam Chaitanavat. Now, according to Advaita Siddhanta, okay, Brahman itself is exhibiting itself in so many forms. Isn't it? Sarvam Khalvidam Brahma. Therefore, since Brahman has got Chaitanyam, everything on earth, okay, has got Chaitanyam within. That means, in order to see that kolam pipatishati, there prathama is there, kolam pipatishati, isn't it? So the karaka, how karaka will come on kola shabda? For that, Patanjali resorted to Advaita Vedanta. And he said, okay, you are right, but let us follow Sarvam Chetanavata, Sarvam Vastu, in the world, anything that has got Chetana or Chaitanya. We resort to Advaita Vedanta. So in cases like kolam pipatishati, shva mumurshati, this dog wants to die. There it is possible. Vatmicha mursha, pipasa, all those things. Okay, when you apply to a person with Chaitanya, what is the difference between a dead body and a living body? Chaitanyam. That is what is said in the Satya Chitta Ananda Rupa Chit. Chit is nothing but Chaitanya only. Isn't it? But in ordinary sense, day-to-day transactions, that is different. A bus may not have Chaitanya in it. A stone may not have Chaitanya in that. But when you go to Advaita Vedanta, top level, then everything is nothing but another form of Brahma, that is with Maya, Maya Shakti. Due to Maya Shakti, Brahman itself appears in so many forms. That is the Upadana Karanam, what Vedanta say. So, Sarvam Chetanavatu is the answer offered by Patanjali in Mahabhashyam under Dhatoh Karmanaha Samanakartrikat Ichchayam Va. This is for Sanprachaya, this sutra. Okay, so kolam pipatishati ityadi prayoga siddhaye sarvasya chetanavatvat. It is actually Vartikam, Katyayana said, and then Patanjali explains that. Is it clear now? So you know what is Vyakaranam, Memamsa, Vaisheshika, and now Advaita. Because hereafter, when you go for usages, then you should not ask what kind of usage is that. Kolam pipatishati, kolam, it doesn't have life, it doesn't have mind. How can you say pipatishati, patitum ichchati? There should not be any question like this. Is it okay?
उत्तमम् उत्तमम्
Any question? Any questions, please?
न बहु सम्यक् अस्ति महोदय.
Shastras, you go deep. Huh? You go deep and deep. By tomorrow, so the way you look at things will totally change. The way you speak will also change. And people cannot question you so easily. When you argue like this, it is not so easy to argue. Huh? So, Tattam. What is there? Chandru. Any doubts? Things are clear?
Acharya, I mean, not exactly related to this.
No, need not indirectly, because indirectly karakas are there, direct karakas are there. Don't bother, you go on.
If we say that temperature flows from heat flows from higher temperature to lower temperature, then we can say that heat is having ichcha because it is also a chetana vastu and it is having ichcha to flow from higher temperature to lower temperature.
Everything, anything, that is vivaksha. You are taking it, although it doesn't have a chaitanyam outside the world. Suppose someone may say the bat doesn't have the chaitanyam. Something because it is not moving on its own, or you don't find growth and decay, etc. All these things, no. If you find actually there are 6 bhava vikaras, 6 stages. Everything on earth has to undergo. This is clearly stated in Nirukta Shastra. Jayate, asti, vadhate, vyaparinamate, apakshiyate, vinashyati. 6 vikaras they are called. Shad bhava vikara. You take anything on earth. षड्भावविकाराः निरुक्ते जायते. I should explain. जायते अस्ति वर्धते विपरिणमते अपक्षीयते विनश्यति. In all these things, satta is there. Satta we are going to discuss. Okay. In all these things, notice satta is there. Jayate, it is born. Then asti means neither guna nor kriya will be there in asti. Vardhate, it is growing. Okay. There is vriddhi, vardhate. Viparinamate, undergoing change. Parinama. Viparinamate, undergoing some change. Apakshiyate, slowly decay will start. Apakshiyate, getting decay slowly. Vinashyati, it perishes. You take a tree, you take a computer. It may be more time, just see, the tree may be there for 120 years or 200 years. The person may be there for 60 or 100 maximum, like that, depending on his Ashtamasthanam, Ayushthanam in his horoscope, and Shani kArakam. Okay, but the tree is also going to perish. But at once it may not happen. It will undergo these 6 stages. Yes, Sai Krishna. See, when you take up all the Shastras and explain, that will be more convincing. If you follow a single Shastram, how much? Okay. Therefore, temperature is going up and coming down. All these usages fall under Karaka, no doubt about it. But then what happens? That's why in the beginning I said, we are not concerned with whether something has life or not. No. Because Vahanam agachyati. Vahanam is coming. Will Vahanam come on its own? You may ask. Has it got life? Although it is called automobile, auto means Swayam mobile. You know. No. So the bus is coming, the usage is wrong.
That means even a man is walking is a wrong usage. If we say a man is walking, even there
walking kriya. Kriya nameyam anumanagamya. Walking cannot be seen or shown in a concrete form. Walking, cooking, going, etc. I have already told you. Jati, guna, kriya, saunya. So dravyam will be there. Jati, guna and kriya have got dravyam as their ashraya, resort, and cannot be seen or shown separately. That we have discussed. That's why in the beginning I gave you all that material. So today, so man is walking, and some Nayayika asked me, this some glass you are showing, the glass is here, the glass is coming here. I said, that is your bhavana, that is vastu. You are showing dravyam. The dravyam glass is here, it is moved to another point. He says in between there is kriya. No, that is dravyam that is moving. I want to separately dravyam and kriya. Can you see our show? No. If you think about it, oh my God, this is Chaitraha pachati. Chaitra is cooking. I am going to give you definition of kriya. Avantara kriyas will be there. So many avantara kriyas. The group of some avantara kriyas, getting rice, putting in the vessel, cleaning it, putting some water, putting the lid, placing it on the earth, lighting this thing, and seeing through the paka. This entire process is taken as one in the buddhi, and then it is called a kriya, isn't it? Otherwise, you cannot simply say paka is there. What is paka? There are many avantara kriyas. That definition I am going to give it from Vakyapadi. Even I shall explain. Guna bhotaihi avayavaihi samuha kramajanmanam. An order is there, sequence is there. In that sequence, unimportant avantara kriyas or sub-activities will be there. Buddhya prakalpita bhedaha. In your buddhi, you are making abheda. You are combining all the avantara kriyas in your buddhi. Kriyeti vyapadishyate. Then you call it a kriya. So gunabhodaihi, unimportant. We brought and put the rice in the vessel, cleaned it, poured water, put all these avantara kriyas will be there. Similarly, Chaitraha gramam gacchati. He started with kind of water and for eating something. He took some rest under a tree. And he had his food, he was drinking water, doing all these things. But you do not take into consideration all the avantara kriyas or sub-activities. But simply you say, Dakshati. You got it, Sai Krishna? So whether temperature is rising or coming down, such kind of usages, you do. If anybody asks you, tell him, Advaita Vedanta, it is correct. Then he will ask you, what is Advaita Vedanta? It is very difficult to understand, but slowly take it for granted. Sarvam Chatanavata. Everything is part and parcel of Brahman. You don't understand now, it will take 10 years for you, you tell him. Huh? Because you cannot go on explaining. At certain age, you can start and explain. If you cannot start from scratch, especially for a foreigner, that is very difficult. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Now, so, there is, I think, 7 minutes or so. Any doubts or explanations are required? This let us take up tomorrow, these 2 verses, Sai Krishna.
Yes, sir.
Leave it full view. Close that. So that we can have just all the people.
Just
So, any doubts, please?
Yes, Acharya, you spoke about the Sadbhavas. And one of them is
Vikara.
Yeah, Vikaras. And one of them is Viparinamita. So what is the difference between Vikara and Parinama?
Vikara is any kind of change. See, for example, a small nut you take, a small mango. It did not just got vruddhi itself, but very small itself is turned into yellow.
Yes.
That and what happens, a paripaka will come slowly due to time. Take Chaitra. Chaitra in Balya, Kaumara, Yavana, Vardhakya, Parinama will be there. That is Kalakrita. Kala is the Shakti of Maya. Maya is required for Brahman to see that everything, all the things, all the beings will face their karma. So Kala Shakti Mupashritaha. So Kala is there. Kala Pachati Bhutani, Kala Samharati Prajaha, Bharatam. So Kala itself is cooking people. Pachati he is using Vedavyasa in Bharatam. What does it mean by cooking? See, in a cooking, this Karta Chaitra can do anything. He can add, he need not add, for example, say salt. He can add more salt. He can add exactly how much is required. So this is clearly stated in the Shankara Bhashyam, Sotra Bhashyam. Kartum, akartum, anyathava kartum prabhavati, Shankaracharya. In karma and jnana cannot be done like that. Jnana is one and only one, that is bhota. In karma, what happens? Suppose Chaitra is cooking. Okay, he can stir, he need not stir. He can make it black. He can just put down the vessel, before it is cooked, half cooked. Some people want a half cooked thing, modern science. I don't know. Okay, so there, what is happening there? Like that, the kala, a person thinks, yes, I want to earn some 2 crores. Next, I want to purchase some to airplane. So many things he goes on thinking and doing. Will it happen exactly as he wants? No, because you are chained. You are controlled. You are controlled by kala. Kala will bring parinama. Shadashvara Shankaracharya said, Kalam, parinama hetumaho. People said, what is kala? By which something undergoes parinama, change. Today it is a tender mango. Tomorrow it will become bigger one. How it became bigger one? Parinama. Who caused parinama? Kala. What is kala? No, kala is Maya Shakti. What is Maya Shakti? You don't understand. So, so then after it became a mango, big mango. We use it for achar and pickles, etc. If you leave it that and put in some place, dark place, what will happen? It will change its color and becomes a fruit. If you do not eat that fruit and leave it like that, it will perish. Who is causing? Who is doing? So in Pachati, how a person has got Swatantra Karta, we are going to discuss thoroughly in Panini. Swatantriyam he has got, only Karta, not Karma, Karna, etc. He can do, undo, do otherwise, all these things he can do. That can be done, that is being done by Kala. A person, he wants to live this and that thing, but he has got some health problems. Why health problems? The answer will be Jyotisham. Janmantra Kratam Papam, Yadhirupena Bhatate, Tachanti, Aushadhi, Dani, Japa, Vama, Surachani. Okay, Baba, some Graha Japa, Graha, done. What will happen? You will get Shanti, not Nivarana. Shanti, peace of mind. Degree of intensity can be reduced to some extent by Japa, Tapa, and that all that Homa and Tarpana. But Nivarana is not. Avashyaman Bhaktaviyam Kratam Karma Shubhasham. So Karmabaddha, a Jivi, and Kala you are showing or Jyotisha you are bringing into picture and just providing some answer. Nothing else. You need not necessarily go to Jyotisha. Did you get my your answer to your question, or still I have to?
So my question, Acharya, was that this Viparinam
happens due to Kala. Automatically it happens.
Okay.
Whether one likes it or in that Kanya Shokam Rama, he says, Guruji doesn't like this kind of this what you call curry of Donda. Donda is Bimba Phala. But since the Bimba Phalas are available in the backyard, Guruji's wife regularly cooks that curry. What to do? So a person who is living, he himself doesn't have anything like that. So every time it need not necessarily happen, may not happen. Nevertheless, you are there. So parinama happens due to Kala. This is not about a person or an animal or a bird. No, I did not say. 6 bhava vikaraha for everything on earth. It can be a tree. It can be a person. It can be an animal, bird, etc.
Okay. Thank you.
Any more doubts, please?
Acharya, if we say something in Karmani Prayoga, Chaitrena
Odanaha Pachyate.
Odanaha Pachyate. Here, what is Karta? What is Karta in this sentence?
Here, Karta, here.
Karmani Prayoga.
In Karmani Prayoga, what happens? Pachyate being cooked. Karmani Prayoga. So there, Karta will not be there, no? Because Karmam has come. Chaitrena by Chaitra. Isn't it? That's why Karmani Prayoga is different from Kartari Prayoga.
Then it is said that Karta is Swatantra.
Swatantra Karta.
Then here, if we say
Chaitraha Pachiti Kartari Prayoga. Chaitra is Swatantra in the activity of cooking.
Okay.
When all the Karakas, सर्वेषु कारकेषु सन्निहितेषु यः प्रवर्तयिता सः कर्ता. That is the definition offered in Mahabharata.
Acharya, just correct me if I am wrong. If we say something in Karmani Prayoga, in this case, Chaitra has no swatantram in cooking. If we say in Karmani Prayoga, Chaitrena.
He is Karana. Yes, he is Karana. But Karna also through Vadanaha Pachyate. So through Karna Pachyate, karma is there now. See, Karana, Sampradana, Apadana, those karakas are not direct karakas. They became karakas through karta or karma. So here through karma, karnam has come. Without karma, karnam cannot be there. Huh? Is it clear?
Yes.
In Kartari Prayoga, what happens is Pachati, Ti is in Karta. He already said Karta. So Chaitra got the Prathama Vibhakti. Chaitra, the Shabda does not originally denote Karta, but generally it is called Kartari Prayoga.
What is the significance of using Kartari Prayoga and Karmani Prayoga? When we have
verb. Pachati, Pachyate.
Not like that, but
so when you say Pachati, Karta will get Prathama. When you say Pachyate,
Karta will get
then Odanaha, karma will get Prathama.
I mean, when to use Karmani Prayoga and when to use Kartari Prayoga, is there any?
It is up to you. The verb should have both the usages. Then only.
Yes.
The verb should have Kartari Prayoga, Karma Prayoga. Then it depends upon the speaker. Bhakti Ichha, Vivaksha. When to use, there is no any specific hard and fast rule. Okay. Yes, slowly it will become clear when you come to examples and start doing. Then it will become clear. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Shubham Bhuya.